Good afternoon, and welcome down to Weather Down in Muletown. As always, this is your captain speaking. So, got a couple of things to cover real quick. As you see right now, I'm making my job pretty easy. Not a thing going down in Muletown weather-wise. So, definitely wanted to get that out to you, the nothingness there, because I know the previous time frame that we had posted said storms starting anywhere from about like 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let me bring that up here. So yeah, obviously it's about 47 minutes now from 3 p.m., about 13 minutes past the hour now, and I don't see it happening. So I'm waiting on that HRR model to finish running right now, like I just posted. But for the moment, neither your captain nor the HRR model are very impressed with what's coming down the pipe for us. So I may give y'all a short preview of that because this is the 48-hour run, so it's going to give us 2 days worth. Right now, it's just getting into the meat and potatoes of the run, and it thinks we probably won't see any weather until about midnight or a little bit after. So, again, that's just one of many models that we take into consideration. It just happens to be my favorite one that I normally use because it updates so often and takes into account a couple more factors. So other than that, we'll go ahead and go over the basics like we always do. We got our today, tonight, and tomorrow forecast ready to rock and roll. So we'll go ahead and get over on into that. Severe outlook for today. Again, pretty low on the tornado threats, damaging winds, and the isolated large hail possible, as well as some localized flooding issues as well. Right, a couple or three, there we go. Today high of about 95 degrees. Currently it is 95 degrees in Sunnyside. Slight wind out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. Heat index though still pretty warm, 112. So make sure, again, as always, keeping an eye on the fuzzy things in life and yourself as well. Dew point 78 degrees, humidity 59%, and looks like falling just a little bit, as is the barometric pressure 29.85 and falling. So today it looks like we've got just about under 1/10 of an inch of measurable rainfall so far, and we should see a pretty good chance of precip after dark. I'm going to say, I think I got crawling down there. The NWS version of the forecast, and I think it says 20 or 30% or something like that, but that's what the NWS says. That is what we use. So tonight, low of about 66, again, about a 55%, 60%, somewhere around there, chance of precip and thunderstorms probably after midnight. So that's what we're going to go with as well there, and I think it says in the scroll after 11 p.m. or something like that. I'll double check. Honestly didn't read it as I was throwing it all in there. So 79 degrees for the high tomorrow, and as promised, as you see there, no green on the map, so a lot drier, a lot more mild and nice conditions for Tuesday. And I need it because my yard is sitting about half mowed right now in the back, so I definitely need that dry weather to come on our way. So other than that, like I said, didn't want to hold you up all the way until we got to 3 p.m. just to wait on this model to run, because like I said, so far things just not really that impressive. Let me refresh it here. Yeah, we've got about 16 hours of it so far. I'll go ahead and show it to you. I'll pull up our screen share output here. There we go. So I'll pop that on over here, and you can kind of look at the first couple of hours of it with us. So starting at 1 p.m. about an hour ago, there's 2 p.m., 3, 4, 5, 6. See some scattered showers beginning to creep into the area in Middle Tennessee about 6 p.m., but nothing really for us. Doesn't look like until closer to about midnight. Like I said, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3, 4, 5. And this is still kind of trending things to the south for us right now. Again, like I said, grain of salt is just a supercomputer. But that is one of the best, among the best anyway, that we have to go off of. So Kathy says, it is sure hot in Santa Fe. I can believe that for sure. Ferris also says hot and Mount Pleasant. Can definitely believe that. Kathy says, thank you for all the updates and everything you do. Thank you, Kathy, and everybody else listening to me right now for listening to me right now and every other time. We appreciate you just as much as you appreciate us, I can assure you. So, right, and always, welcome to everybody on YouTube as well that is joining us on the broadcast. Welcome, welcome. Always doing our simulcast there on Facebook and YouTube. And again, if there's any other new platforms that you guys want us to maybe have a look at, I'm glad to have a look at that. You know, it's obviously you just got to justify the squeeze, but I plan on obviously keeping up a pretty much a 24-hour live feed between either me, Moms, the Radar, or something. One of us on the team and the Radar, something being on 24 hours a day. If anybody remembers the Nashville Severe Weather Channel, that used to go on that Channel 2 did back in the day. I kind of envision something like that. Martha says, any other updates today? Yeah, we're doing one right now. So, the SPC should have an update coming out here in a little while. And then obviously, any updates that we get, from the NWS, outlets like their social media, anything like that, NWS chat, we will pass those along to you as we get them. Danny's feeling overwhelmed, I can imagine. This is definitely not typical summer weather for southern Middle Tennessee. If you're just moving here, things aren't always like this, I promise. So things are a bit crazy right now with our normal quote-unquote weather patterns. Normally this time of year, the pollen's blowing, not so much the wind. And things are, we still have those, you know, kind of one-off pop-up thunderstorms like anywhere in the South does, I believe. Most anywhere I've ever been in the South anyway. And but it's normally a lot more drier and humid around this time. I mean, even the humidity kind of goes away to a certain extent, because once it gets so hot and we lack that breeze in Tennessee, it takes away a lot of our storm ingredients. So, because it is just kind of hot and dry. So, but again, we still have that humidity for the most part, most of the time, but it can drop out on us in the summertime for sure. That's when we get into those fire concerns. So, oh, before late, yeah, for sure, Martha. Martha was asking if there was going to be any updates before later on tonight. Yeah, I'll try to do another one again. You know, I'll always be watching the things as they approach on the radar for you guys and gals out there in Muletown land and Internetville and Twitterverse. And we'll make sure that we keep everybody updated as to all the pertinence and everything as the storm comes in. And that's why I wanted to say right now, mainly, it doesn't look as impressive as some of the other rounds that we've been looking at, and we are not in the same risk area as we have been the last couple of days. So we started out in basically just like the marginal risk area within what's called like the thunder line. I think is what it used to be referred to on the SPC website, just meaning thunderstorms are possible. And in the last update, let me see, I'll put that back up here. In the last update here, yeah, call for one, shows they moved the yellow area, which is the slight, so the 2 out of 5 risk. They moved it a little bit back farther to the west. In the previous outlook, I wanted to say it was mainly more towards East Tennessee. So they did include most of Columbia, Murray County. We'll say pretty much everybody, but like Hampshire and Williamsport out that way. Extreme western Murray County is included in that 2 out of 5, the slight risk, and you can see the scale there on the bottom. So, again, still 2 out of 5. I've seen tornadoes happen. The Nashville tornado happened the March of 19 or 20 or whatever it was. That happened under a slight risk. So I may never get too caught up in the risk scale there. Obviously, if we're telling you something that's still 5 or 6 days out and the SPC saying, hey, you know, maybe a marginal or maybe a moderate risk or a high risk, that's definitely something significant, very significant, because they normally don't do that, you know, 4 or 5 days out. But like I said, we are in a little bit less of a overall severe risk than yesterday. So good news overall. And so far the models again are trending to be a little bit less windy for sure. It looks to be more like a broken line of just kind of scattered coverage, but that can also again give us some individual discrete cells that can become supercells. So that is definitely kind of a catch-22 sometimes. So all right, I think I've got enough of the model going here now where I can actually throw it in there for you full screen. We've got till a little bit past daylight tomorrow in there, and that'll work. I'll post the full 48-hour run and an update later on tonight, or I'll just post it straight to the page in the video GIF form. So give me just 1 second. I'm getting that created now. Cool. All right, I'll pop that and call for 6. There it is. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. All right, and then by magic of television, there this is. So again, it starts off at 1 p.m. and then rolls you through the overnight hours until about daylight tomorrow. You can see some storms about around the 5, 6, 7 p.m. time frame, but really nothing in the southern Middle Tennessee, Columbia, Muletown area until about midnight, maybe a little bit after, 1 or 2, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, and this runs until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So let that run through one more time and get a kind of a good idea of it. But it's so far showing things being a little bit more mild. Also keeping an eye on, for the weather curious and nerdy, the NAM 3 kilometer model, as well as the RAP model. So RAP looks like it's done running right now. Have a look at it. I may screen share that one over here to you guys as well, just in case it's just like radically different, but I don't expect it will be. Sometimes NAM is the one that can get a little bit, we kind of joke is, you know, like off its meds, but Zulus, what time is that? 23. 22 Zulu is going to be okay, about 9 or 10 o'clock. So yeah, the RAP model maybe shows a little bit more heavier coverage coming in about 9 or 10 o'clock, a little bit more along that other timeline there. Let's have a look and see what NAM says. Last one that's running on NAM looks like it's over 6 hours old, so but yeah, NAM looks even less impressed. So again, take that for what it's worth, guys and gals. After all, it is just a supercomputer. But for the moment, it looks like it should at least be markedly less of a just overall just rain and drainer for the entire day. So I think it looks like it's going to be a lot more isolated and just kind of scattered along to the south, maybe even possibly. So we may end up with a near miss out of this one. But again, it's going to be in the middle of the night. And that always comes into play, obviously. So definitely want to make sure that you've got a good way to get those warnings and updates. So either, obviously, like I said, leave our YouTube feed on or something like that. Or make sure you've got the batteries, the backup batteries in your Norway the radio in case the power goes out as well. Definitely good things to have there, as we previously discussed. So, and obviously, and we've had this come up as well too, lots and lots of times, if you have any issues programming your weather radio, obviously give us a shout on the messages or whatever. We can, or I'll say I'm more than happy to go through that with you. I know sometimes I'll have some of our, I don't want to say older, we'll have some of our more experienced and well-traveled followers on the page ask if if I'm on running them through it, helping them programming it, getting the county codes entered into it or tuned to the right frequency or whatever, and I don't have a problem at all doing that. Doubt moms would either. I don't want to speak for anybody else or Mrs. Captain, but I'm familiar with pretty much most of the models, and again, I usually actually use a walkie-talkie as my weather radio. It doesn't do the page wake you up at night feature, but I've got other things that are actually doing that for me. So you can program the frequency into just like a ham radio or like a walkie-talkie like that, or get a regular freestanding NOAA radio. Some of those have plug-in features that you can get that will not only make a loud noise, but some of them flash as well too. Has a little red light that you can plug into the back of it. If you have any family members that are hard of hearing, or like Mrs. Captain, it could sleep through the apocalypse. That definitely helps. So like I said, them being overnight storms, don't let your guard down too much, since everyone will more than likely be asleep when those slide through. But again, we will always be on and watching, as we say. So if there is any warnings that are issued off of that line of storms as it comes through, we will definitely get those to you as quick as we can. Right. I think we're all caught up on the comments. Shout out to Boppy. It looks like Moms is actually watching today from the YouTube side of things. So Mom's repping things on the YouTube side. All right. And also, too, I'm just, again, trying to do some couple of different things and highlight some of our, followers and things like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about, the tagging, the new followers and stuff like that. I know some people are funny. I'm normally one of those people. I don't like getting tagged in a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to just, kind of blow up anybody's feed with stuff like that either. So we obviously want to keep it on the level when you see us go live, or you see, hey, we've posted something that it's, at least going to be informative, at least semi-important or funny, possibly, during the daytime. I usually don't do things like that at night, or I'll schedule those for noon or whatever. So, again, we always want to just stay on that level of informative and precise and not annoying. So, again, just let me know what you all think about that, and also the week's top supporters, with the star contributions and things like that. I have no problem throwing up a list, Patreon style, of everybody who's helping us keep the lights on, as we say, either making donations or giving us shout outs there out in the social media land, telling your friends about us, whatever. I have no problem with that, as long as y'all get annoyed by it. Again, that's the main thing I want to avoid there. So other than that, though, I think that's most everything I have for everybody. Just wanted to go in and show everybody what was going on there with the model situation and with our timing on these storms. If you're just joining us, I'll run through it one more time real quick to make sure just everybody is caught up and on the same page there, and then I'm probably going to jump off here. Again, just wanted to do a quick update here, not take up any more of anybody's precious time than we need to. So, again, SPC moved the yellow area there, the slight risk, back a little bit to the west towards us in the last update, but not quite as high as we were the last couple of days with the level 3 there out of 5, the enhanced risk. It's what we've been in the majority of the time, it seems, here the last couple of days. So, again, officially, timing from the NWS, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., but if the models are correct, it's looking like it's going to be definitely on the latter end of that time frame, if not after 11 p.m. midnight altogether. So I'll pull up that model run for everybody so you can see that here in just a second and kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So currently in Columbia, high of 95, so jiving pretty well with what we see there on our map today for Columbia, high of around 95. That seems like that's pretty accurate so far. Heat index, though, 111 at the moment, 58% humidity, dew point 79, so definitely a concern there. Make sure you're staying hydrated and keeping an eye on the fuzzy things. Pressure 29.85 and falling. Today so far only about a tenth of an inch of measurable rainfall, and at the moment a calm wind of about 3 miles an hour out of the, looks like northeast at the moment, but it's been a little shifty today. So tonight, again, storm chances, rain chances, some could be strong to severe, but it's not looking near as threatening as it has been in the last couple of days, as we just said. And as promised, coming up tomorrow on Tuesday, a lot more mild weather. All the green gone off of the map there. Very, very low rain chance for most everybody in the mid-state. And the high about 80, a little bit under. So definitely a welcome change there to see the temp start with a 7. And then here is that HRR model run. It is having a little bit more doubts on the timing and the widespread coverage on the storms as they come through. It's showing things to be a lot more scattered there, and possibly even to the south on like a glancing blow or near miss. So it runs throughout there to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and it's still running. Yeah, it's still running now. So that model, as soon as it's done, I've got about 30 out of 48 hours so far. I'll go ahead and get that posted on the page, but it looks like everything should be dry and nice through Tuesday evening at the very least. So again, that's all I've got for right now. I'll give you an update or throw some more posts on the main page if need be, or if anything changes throughout the evening and afternoon as those storms get ready to start approaching or bubbling up. Other than that, any questions, comments, concerns, admissions of guilt, spontaneous utterances or otherwise, go ahead and throw those in the chat. Thank you for joining us today. And again, just stay tuned for those further updates, any kind of watches or warnings if they need to be issued. We'll pass those along to you. But again, just overall in general, I'd say this one looks a lot less threatening than the other day, but I don't want you to let your guard down either. So until then, this has been The Captain. Thank you for joining us down here on Weather Down in Muletown, and I hope that you have an outstanding rest of your day.